Long ago, during the Tang dynasty, there lived a young woman named Duanwu. She was beautiful, intelligent, and extremely brave, but her life was nothing like that of an ordinary young woman. Duanwu worked at a pearl farm in Hapu, where she was forced to dive into the dangerous sea every day in search of precious pearls. The pearl farm was controlled by the powerful Chui family, and the workers were treated terribly. Duanwu had spent years suffering under their control. Every day, she risked drowning just to bring pearls to the surface. And whenever she failed to find enough pearls, she was punished. But despite everything she had endured, Duanwu never stopped dreaming about freedom. She knew that if she remained at the pearl farm forever, she would never have the chance to live her own life. Then one day, an opportunity finally appeared. The Dragon Boat Festival arrived, and the pearl farm became unusually busy. A special pearl auction was going to take place, and important merchants and wealthy guests were expected to attend. The people in charge of the pearl farm decided to use Duanwu and the other young women to entertain the guests. For Duanwu, however, the festival meant something completely different. It could be her chance to escape. That night, Duanwu was forced to participate in a performance at the pearl auction. She was nervous, but instead of allowing fear to control her, she decided to make the performance unforgettable. When she stepped onto the stage, everyone expected her to simply follow the planned routine. But Duanwu had another idea. She used her natural talent and courage to capture everyone's attention. Her performance was so impressive that the wealthy guests began competing to buy the pearls she presented. Among those watching was a mysterious merchant named Yan Zijing. Unlike the other wealthy men at the auction, Yan Zijing wasn't simply interested in showing off his wealth. He seemed to be looking for something much more important. And there was another man watching Duanwu carefully. His name was Zhong Jinran, a gentle and intelligent scholar who had secretly come to investigate the strange activities surrounding the pearl trade. The pearl business appeared successful on the surface, but something was terribly wrong. The number of pearls being sent to the imperial court had been decreasing, even though the Chui family's business was becoming richer. Zhong Jinran suspected that someone was secretly hiding something. Meanwhile, Duanwu's performance changed everything. A pearl connected to her performance attracted an enormous amount of attention. But Duanwu wasn't interested in becoming wealthy. Her only wish was simple. She wanted freedom. Unfortunately, the night soon turned into a nightmare. A violent incident occurred at the pearl farm, and a man was killed. Before Duanwu could understand what had happened, the blame was placed on her. Suddenly, the girl who had spent her entire life trying to survive became a wanted criminal. The guards were ordered to capture her. Duanwu knew that if they caught her, she would probably never survive. So she ran. She fled through the darkness, desperately searching for a way out. But escaping the pearl farm wasn't going to be easy. The people chasing her were determined to silence her. As the pearl farm descended into chaos, fire began spreading through the area. Duanwu realized that staying there meant certain death. She had to make a choice. Run toward freedom, or remain trapped in the life she had always hated. With courage, Duanwu escaped. But she soon discovered that the outside world was even more dangerous than she had imagined. She had no money. She had no family to protect her. And she didn't know whom she could trust. Then fate brought her face to face with Yan Zijing. Yan Zijing was a powerful merchant who traveled with a large trading caravan. He appeared cold and calculating, and Duanwu immediately sensed that he was hiding something. But Yan Zijing also recognized something special about her. Duanwu knew pearls better than almost anyone. She could recognize their quality simply by looking at them. And Yan Zijing realized that someone with her talent could be extremely valuable to his business. Duanwu eventually joined his caravan. At first, their relationship was far from friendly. Yan Zijing treated her like a useful business partner rather than someone he could trust. Duanwu, on the other hand, refused to let anyone control her again. She had escaped one master, and she wasn't about to become another man's servant. But neither of them realized that their meeting was not an accident. Yan Zijing had his own hidden mission. He wasn't traveling simply to sell jewelry. He was searching for answers connected to his family's tragic past. And Duanwu was unknowingly connected to secrets that could change everything. As the caravan prepared to leave, Duanwu looked back at the place where she had spent years suffering. For the first time in her life, she was truly free. But freedom came with a price. She had entered a world filled with merchants, jewels, betrayal, revenge, and hidden identities. And somewhere along the journey, she would discover that the pearl she had spent her life searching for wasn't nearly as valuable as the truth about her own past. After escaping the pearl farm, Duanwu finally believed that her nightmare was over. But she soon discovered that freedom was not as simple as she had imagined. She had no family, no money, and no safe place to go. The only thing she possessed was her extraordinary knowledge of pearls. Fortunately, she was now traveling with Yan Zijing and his caravan. However, Duanwu quickly realized that Yan Zijing was not an ordinary merchant. He was extremely intelligent and cautious. He rarely trusted anyone, and whenever someone asked about his past, he immediately changed the subject. Duanwu couldn't understand why a wealthy merchant would involve himself in dangerous situations. But she soon discovered that Yan Zijing had a hidden purpose. He was secretly investigating the people responsible for the destruction of his family. Years earlier, his family had suffered a terrible tragedy. Many people connected to him had died, and Yan Zijing had never forgotten what happened. Since then, he had been patiently searching for the people behind it. He believed the truth was connected to the powerful trading networks operating throughout the region. And now, Duanwu had unexpectedly become part of his plan. Duanwu's knowledge of pearls made her extremely valuable. She could tell the difference between an ordinary pearl and a rare one almost immediately. She could also identify where a pearl had likely been harvested. Yan Zijing realized that her ability could help him uncover secrets hidden inside the pearl trade. But Duanwu wasn't interested in revenge. She simply wanted to build a new life. She had spent too many years being controlled by others. She refused to become someone's tool again. This created constant tension between her and Yan Zijing. Whenever Yan Zijing gave her an order, Duanwu questioned him. Whenever he tried to control her movements, she pushed back. And strangely, Yan Zijing began to admire her courage. For the first time in a long time, he had met someone who wasn't afraid of him. Meanwhile, Zhong Jinran continued his own investigation. He had discovered that the events surrounding the pearl farm were more complicated than they appeared. Duanwu had been blamed for a crime, but Zhong Jinran wasn't convinced she was guilty. He began following clues that could eventually prove her innocence. However, his investigation also put him in danger. Someone powerful was determined to prevent the truth from being discovered. As the caravan traveled to a new city, Duanwu began learning how the outside world worked. She learned how merchants negotiated prices. She learned how valuable pearls were traded. And most importantly, she began discovering her own strength. She was no longer the frightened girl trapped inside the pearl farm. She was becoming an independent woman. But just when she started feeling safe, danger appeared again. During a major trading event, Duanwu noticed something suspicious about a collection of pearls. The pearls appeared genuine, but something about them wasn't right. She carefully examined them and realized that they had been deliberately altered. Someone was trying to deceive the merchants. Duanwu immediately warned Yan Zijing. Instead of ignoring her, Yan Zijing listened. Together, they exposed the deception. This incident made Yan Zijing realize that Duanwu wasn't merely useful. She was exceptionally talented. But it also attracted unwanted attention. The people responsible for the fake pearls realized that someone had discovered their secret. They began investigating Duanwu. Soon, Duanwu noticed that someone was following her. She tried to ignore it, but the feeling became stronger. One evening, she was suddenly attacked. Duanwu fought back, but there were too many enemies. Just when she thought she was going to be captured, Yan Zijing appeared. He fought fiercely to protect her. After the attackers escaped, Duanwu looked at him differently. For the first time, she wondered whether the code merchant actually cared about her. Yan Zijing, however, refused to explain why he had risked his life for her. He simply told her that she was an important member of his caravan. Duanwu wasn't satisfied with the answer. She knew there was something deeper behind his actions. And she was right. Yan Zijing had discovered that the people targeting Duanwu might be connected to the same enemies responsible for his family's tragedy. This meant Duanwu's escape from the pearl farm was not random. Someone had been trying to control the pearl trade. And Duanwu might have unknowingly witnessed something they desperately wanted to keep hidden. Meanwhile, Zhang Jinran finally found another clue.